am just, wow, I'm just overwhelmed and excited. I head to Vegas in a couple of days. Gonna go be at a women's health and beauty expo in Vegas, serving thousands of women there. And I can't wait to see how this goes and how many lives we get to touch. Stephanie Cope will be with me, Cindy Tyler will be with me, and we're gonna be taking care of people. Um, I gotta shut the sound down so that doesn't distract me. There we are. So, who am I and why am I here? Well, I'm a woman who got really sick, got a lot better, and did it when doctors and nutritionists and everyone else couldn't help me or didn't help me, didn't have answers. So, what happened is when I got better, I decided to go on this journey of figuring out why, when I was addressing one thing, diabetes, but I had so many other things going on with me. Why did slowly all of those other things start resolving, even though no one else could figure it out? So, it sent me on this journey, and now I talk about what I found on uh, platforms all across the board because I want other people to not have to suffer like I did. I want people to not have to go through the years, have, like, I've had 3 joint replacements. If you could not have to have hip replacements or knee replacements because your body's falling apart and instead fix that with just some reality, and the reality is our food is broken. Our food system is broken. It's making us sick. Our foods have been modified and manufactured. I'm not just talking about the boxed and prepackaged foods. I'm talking about the foods that you buy when you go around the perimeter too. And if you guys haven't heard, the scary news is they're trying to add the mRNA gene thing to our foods now. So yes, they keep messing with our foods and it's making us sick. So all that really happened is I figured out, I mean, I stumbled on the system on TikTok and I gave it a shot because I felt like everything else wasn't working. I was caving. And so, what I'm going to be talking about in a little bit, and we're going to go over all the science behind it, is this real food system, a tea that I drink in the morning, and a pre meal drink that I drink before I eat anything. The tea can be had hot or cold, gives me mental energy, clarity, physical energy, helps me burn fat for fuel, shuts down my hunger. It does a lot of amazing things. So this is actually, I'm finishing up. I had 2 in here. I'm finishing this up from this morning. When I'm done with this live, I'll have my first meal, which today, to be honest, I have some food to eat up before I head out. So I have some leftover hot wings and mac and cheese. So I'm tearing up the hot wings, putting it on the mac and cheese, and that's what my lunch is going to be like. Does that look like keto? Because somebody earlier today said this sounds like keto. No, it's not keto. Do I eat what I call, what I've affectionately termed ketoistic? Yes. I mean, I prioritize protein, I fill up with fats, and I limit carbs. But I'm no longer eating the 30 carbs a day or less that I used to eat when I was competing because I don't have to. This really helps me with mediating the carbs and the sugars as they go into my bloodstream so that I don't have, or into my system, so that I don't have those insulin spikes and all the resulting insulin and the issues that come along with it. Whew, I'm trying to shift gears. I've been running, trying to do so many things, getting ready for this event. I love when my life is like this, but it's crazy. It's really crazy. So, you guys, this one thing I keep talking about is insulin resistance, and only 12%. And I need to really, really need to sit down and find time to change this because that science has changed now. 93.2% of us are metabolically unhealthy, which means that less than 7% of us are metabolically healthy. So, when I did a video a while back saying nearly every one of us has this problem of insulin in our bloodstream, that's what I'm talking about. Metabolic disorders start with some insulin or hyperinsulinemia, and where we just can't switch between insulin and glucagon. So anyway, that needs to be changed because that is increasing, it seems like, every couple of years, and it's wide sweeping. One of the things I talk the most about is high blood pressure or hypertension. Yeah, I'm doing that because that's what I used to do all the time. My blood pressure would be about 180 over 150 every single day. Every once in a while, I'd wake up in the night with it being around 220, 240 over like 160 up to 180. How I didn't just like in the night, I don't know. But it was a real fear for me that I was going to pass away in the night, and my family was going to have this mess to clean up. Even on dual therapy of hydrochlorothiazide, water pill, and lisinopril, we could only get my blood pressure down to about 150 over 110. 6 days on the system. I went into the doctor's office and I got my first semi-normal reading. It was 124 over 80, or it was 126 over 84. It now runs 120 over 70 regularly. Did it drop in 6 days and stay down? No, but it was trending down over that first year. And so I got off all of my medications. I'm not on those anymore. I haven't been on hydrochlorothiazide or lisinopril for like 22 months now, almost 2 years, and my blood pressure is normal and all my labs are normal. And if I walked into a doctor's office today and chose not to tell them that I was ever diagnosed with diabetes, they would never ever know. So that's when I say I've reversed my diabetes. That's what I'm talking about. No medications, living my real life, and I don't have any symptoms of diabetes. Back to this, I want to say the reason I talk about, you guys aren't over here, aren't getting to see this. So the reason I talk about high blood pressure, by the way, is it is a symptom of insulin resistance. 95% of high blood pressure comes from insulin resistance. You guys need to understand that. If you have a blood pressure of 130 over 80 or higher, you are most likely insulin resistant. So do you have to have some crazy blood test to tell? No. If you have that, start addressing it. And I'm going to show you how to do it naturally with 2 real food products and some 6 simple tips that I give you to get all of that in line. And it makes it easy and sustainable, and you don't have to be on all those medications. Work with your doctor, though. I'm not telling you to do anything crazy, right? So that's that. When insulin resistance really happens is because our cells just really can't keep up with the production of sugar we're putting in our bodies. So we're eating foods that are unmediated by fibers and nutrients that we need in order to digest it. So it ends up as a form of sugar in our bloodstream, which then creates this need from our pancreas to create insulin, which is the hormone that carries all of our energy, glucose, to all of the tissues. I always say cells, but it's the tissues of the body so that they can grow and prosper, right? We want a prosperous body. But what happens is, I always say it's like that nosy neighbor that they come knocking one too many times, and they're knocking on your door all the time. And you're like, dude, will you just leave me alone? I'm not answering the door. I'm going to pretend I'm not home. Most of our cells get like that with insulin. And so not only are you causing damage to your pancreas because it's working harder, you could be causing damage to the liver and to the kidneys and to your heart and so many other things. And all of this resistance from insulin, I must have the wrong slides up, really dives into, hey, Karen, all of this stuff up here. So things like dementia, Alzheimer's, heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, yes, PCOS and erectile dysfunction. I'm really trying to dive into that, but I'm also doing a lot of stuff on the gut microbiome right now, guys. I'm always reading and always learning, but everything on this list stems from or is related to insulin resistance, but it goes further than that. I'm going to tell you that almost every disease and disorder that we have today is related to insulin resistance if it's a lifestyle related disorder. So that means things like these neuropsychiatric disorders, yes, Alzheimer's, type 3 diabetes, even autism and Parkinson's can be linked to insulin resistance. Does it cause it? No, I'm not saying that. Does it exacerbate it? Absolutely, it can. So gastrointestinal diseases, endocrine diseases, cancers, inflammation, skeletal disorders, muscular disorders, circulatory disorders, things like tinnitus, vertigo, Meniere's disease. I have a dear friend who was diagnosed with Meniere's disease a year ago, got her on the system. She no longer has symptoms of Meniere's. I had vertigo every single day that was debilitating because I would feel like I was going to fall over. It felt like somebody had my head half full of water and just like shook it around, and then it's just sloshing, and it was horrible. But I haven't had an episode of vertigo in almost 2 years. You had ulcerative colitis and had the J-pouch surgery. You can still do this. We just have to start a little slower. So when we talk about surgeries, I know I mentioned in one I wasn't very clear when I said you didn't have to do medications or surgeries to solve this. What I was meaning is there are so many people who are having these surgeries like gastric bypass or lap band to try and make the stomach smaller so you ingest less. Well, that's not the problem. If you're ingesting crap food before and now we just reduce the size of the stomach and you're ingesting the same crap food, not mediated by the things we need in order to digest it, it's not solving a problem. You may lose some weight, but most people end up with that weight back. They end up with eating disorders. They end up with, what is it? Come on, anemia. Um, so there's all these other things. Good. So how's your stomach and your intestine doing now? So the system, not only I talk about the vascular stuff, right? Because that's part of what's happening with the heart disease. It causes a lot of vascular issues. Insulin resistance does. I go through that in videos on my channel a lot, but it also causes a lot of gut or imbalance or dysbiosis where your gut microbiome is off. When that gut microbiome is off, it can link into things like autoimmune diseases and doing great. Good. So did you change anything in your day? Yeah, so now there are some things like my dear grandson has a genetic disorder like that where he can't digest fats. So is that like we have to monitor his food and stuff. We have to be careful, yes. But the system, I think the thing that the system would do is slow down the delivery of the fats for him. But yeah, there's just genetic things that happen that are not going to make. I mean, what I always say with the system is raw vegetables. Huh. There's there's a lot of research out about those. I haven't dove into all that because there's so much information I'm trying to get through. But yeah, that's interesting. You guys, so with insulin resistance, some of the ways, well, let's go back here. All right, we'll just stay here for a second. So most people ask me, how can I tell if this is me? How do I know if I'm insulin resistant? You give me all these symptoms and I have a bunch of them, but how do I know that it's me? So according to the top metabolic scientist, or one of the top metabolic scientists in the world, there are 5 things that he looks to tell if someone is insulin resistant. We're going to go over those. I'll give you some other indicators. I'm going to give you some things to help tell you if you're insulin resistant. Now, if you have blood work, we can go over that. If you don't and you just really want blood work, you're going to ask for a HOMA IR, a fasting insulin test. But that's expensive. If you don't want to go to that, let's take a look at these things. So look, remember I mentioned hypertension. If you have hypertension, you're likely insulin resistant. If you have those things of skin tags on your neck, elbows, under your arms, in your groin, on your neck, on your eyelids, that's insulin resistance. Acanthosis nigricans, or that darkened patch of skin around the elbows, that's also insulin resistance. PCOS and erectile dysfunction, those are also directly linked to insulin resistance. And yes, it can get better when we just address that root cause. So then now, those are the top 5 things. So if you have any of those, then I would start addressing the insulin resistance. Can't diagnose you, not a doctor, not ever going to say that, but this is easy to address. And we're talking about 2 real food products. So why not? Why not just start to address it and see what can happen? There are some other indicators. You could have this bulging belly, so it doesn't matter. Insulin resistance, by the way, insulin resistance is not a fat person disease. It's not a type 2 diabetic disease. It affects, well, I mean, it is. Type 2 diabetes is end-stage insulin resistance, but you can be type 1 diabetic and be insulin resistant. You can have a number of other things and be insulin resistant. You can be lean and have insulin resistance. You can have low blood sugar and have insulin resistance, and I can go over a lot of those things. Daughter has PCOS, that's insulin resistance. Hypoglycemia, I'm not going to tell you that is, but I can tell you why someone may have hypoglycemia in the first stages of insulin resistance. Hypertension is one. And yep, if diabetes is in the family, look, you're genetically predisposed, but that combined with the food industry we have today, then you know you have a higher risk of becoming diabetic for sure. Yeah. So with insulin resistance, there's a lot of things going on, but I want to go over these symptoms real quick and then I'm going to try and answer some of those for you. But look, you can be skinny and have a bulging belly. You may be heavy and have a bulging belly. That bulging belly is a buildup of visceral fat underneath the muscle wall, and that is insulin resistance. High triglycerides of 150 milligrams per deciliter or higher, that's insulin resistance. Low HDL. So if your triglycerides are going up, your HDL is going down, look out because you're headed towards diabetes, and that's insulin resistance. So if you're retaining water easily, you have edema and neuropathy, that's likely insulin resistance. If you're constantly hungry, especially after you eat, or if you get cold, fatigued after you eat, that's that hypoglycemia you're talking about. That's also insulin resistance most times. If you're having chronic fatigue, chronic pain, migraines, those can be signs of insulin resistance. So here's my thing. Like, if all of this stuff even has a possibility of insulin resistance, and let's say so what we're going to do is what I did is I drink a tea in the morning, drinking it now, finishing up the last of it. I'll have this after this live stream. I'll wait 10 minutes. I'll have my lunch. That's all I do. I repeat this again for my dinner time. Okay. That's all I do. Real food products, no medications, no medications. And it has wiped the slate clean because, like, I had so many things. I had that list pulled up earlier. I gotta find it, you guys, because I want to read off this list of stuff that was wrong with me. Here it is. So I had diabetes type 2, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, osteoarthritis, edema, neuropathy, diabetic retinopathy, alopecia, eosinophilic esophagitis, an allergic reaction in my throat, esophagus, sleep apnea, allergies, anxiety, depression, brain fog, vertigo, periodontitis, menopause, bloating. I've had 3 joint replacements. 1 joint is regenerated. I don't have to have it replaced now. I had that acanthosis nigricans and the skin tags and melasma and muscle cramps every morning that woke me up screaming in pain. I had Hashimoto's and PCOS, restless legs, gallstones, and ADD. So, and we now have run through a battery of tests that point to the fact that I'm high functioning autistic, which explains a lot in my life. However, the more I get this under control, the less I feel the symptoms of those things. Yeah. You don't have to give sugar up, but you want to mediate your sugar. You want to slow it down. So right now, you don't think you can give sugar up. She's saying she doesn't think she can give it up over here on TikTok. But that's because you're insulin resistant and your body is telling you from a number of reasons that you need sugar. Number one, that reactive hypoglycemia I was talking about really super quickly. What happens is you get your insulin level pumped up so high and you're eating sugar, unrefined or refined sugar. You're eating all the, cakes, cookies, all of that stuff. And that goes straight into your bloodstream as sugar. And then your insulin level is high. Now the insulin is like, okay, they're going to eat more. They're going to give me more of this. So I got to do a job and I got to get rid of this stuff really quick. And it delivers it out to your system. Now your blood sugar drops. And now you have reactive hypoglycemia where you're tired and you maybe feel cold and you're feeling faint and you're feeling foggy and you're feeling all of that. And your body's like, oh my God, I need energy. I got to eat. So it's going to crave sugar. Okay. Then it's also has all this negative gut bacteria and because it's creating all this stuff, now those negative bacteria like yeast thrive on sugar. You've taught your body to feed those negative bacteria so that those bacteria are like, ooh, feed me more. I want more. I want more. And so now you're craving sugar for quick energy because you had that reactive hypoglycemia, sugar because your gut microbiome is needing it because it's so out of whack. And now you're just like sugar addicted and you think you can't get away from it, right? What if I tell you there's thousands of people who thought the same thing, who started the system, and within a day, some of them realized that they were starting to not have those cravings anymore and that it was easier to get over than they thought once they started letting their body do what it's meant to do without all of this. Like it feels like, when the Hulk took Loki and just like slammed him around, That's kind of what's happening with your body on insulin. Like you're like feeding it sugar, bam, it goes up here, and then the insulin drops it, slam, you're down here. I knock my glasses off, and then it's up and down and all over the place. And of course, you're feeling tired and frustrated and anxious and depressed and just craving this sugar to get that energy back up. And then you crash from it, right? Because your body's just all over the place. So let's just stop that, calm it down, slow it down. And that's what this did for me. So yeah, not everybody has hypoglycemia, but what I'm saying is some people will tell me that doesn't apply to me because my blood sugars actually dropped too low. So some people have that reaction in reaction to insulin resistance. Some people don't. So that cold and get dizzy is a drop in your blood sugar. Hypertension is it's the insulin resistance. So gosh, I am so busy this week. I will try to redo the videos on hypertension again this week because it's so important. But there's 5 or 6 ways that insulin resistance directly causes your hypertension. Reverse that load of insulin in your body, and you can slow down those processes and lower your hypertension if you take care of your insulin resistance. So that's what happened for me. I didn't have to have medications to remove my hypertension or to get it back under normal range. I just followed the system. So, yeah, coffee, if you get to a point where coffee and those Bang energies don't do anything except for make your heart hurt, but you don't have the energy, right? So here's the thing, you're relying on food for energy all the time, but you're never allowing your body to burn up the stores of fuel that it has, like fat and other tissues that need to go away, that it can actually utilize as energy because you're constantly pumping it full of sugar. So now it's using that for energy, and insulin is a hoarder. It will take every bit of energy and store it, and then it's going to stand at the door like a guard and be like, you are not going to take my hard work away. You're not going to burn up that sugar. As long as I'm out here, you're not going to do that. So every time you eat, you spike your insulin, and there goes that hoarder guard being like, nope, you're not going to burn fat. Nope, we're not going to get rid of this stuff. Nope, no other hormone gets to come out and do its job because I'm here. So insulin is a primary hormone, and it really controls everything when it's out to play. Thank you. That's what, whether you choose to do the system like I do, or whether you get some nugget out of all of this that helps your life, man, that makes my day. When people call me back and tell me, how much all of this changed for them, that's like, yes, that's amazing for me. You guys, that's my heart and soul. I'm a quirky soul, but I love helping people. Ta-da! So there you have it. That's why I'm here doing this. Okay, so those symptoms up above are also insulin resistance. Let's go back into this little deck I have. Oh, I do have the wrong deck up. Let me see if I can get the right one up here. Right here. Let's get this one up and put that one down. And then I'm going to put this one up. All right. So I want to get through the presentation really quick, and then I'm going to show you guys, if you want, some success stories, because I have a few here. I have hundreds of them, but it's hard to keep them all, and some people don't want me to share their pictures and their stories. So got to respect that, right? I worked in medical long enough. Like I'm not breaking any of those things. Okay, so let's get back on track with these and see if I can figure out where I was. And thanks for your patience, guys. Yeah, I'm a random basket of mess. My ex-husband used to look at me and be like, I said A, how did you get to Y? That's how my mind works. Okay. All right, so what happens, you guys, is with all of this stuff, right? If you're anything like I was, this is kind of where you're at. You're like, all right, here's all this information. You told me all of these things. Now what? Because I've tried calorie counting, I've tried keto, I've tried all these things, and it worked for a while, but then it quit working, and I just don't have the willpower. My life is so stressful. You're just like, all of this stuff being shoved at you. Now what? Right? I get it. And I'm probably another one of those things, but I'm going to tell you, this is what changed my life. So the problem with most of those things is it's requiring you to live on willpower, and most of us just don't have enough. We have the modern food environment bombarding us. We have work demands and family needs and time constraints, and we just have so much more stress than we've had in a long time. More stress, but we're more sedentary, right? Now we end up fatigued and we are headed home for dinner. And you guys, I work from home, and sometimes I'm like, I don't want to cook, right? So we get in this decision fatigue. And what happens is we're like, okay, I'm going to swing by someplace and get dinner. And this is what we're faced with. This is what we get. And you know what? There's no judgment here. We've all done it. But when day one turns into day 2 of the week, turns into day 3 of the week, turns into day 4 of the week, and we have all of this carbs and fats that are being delivered as this negative energy. I'm going to call it negative energy. That's not really proper, but that's what I'm going to call it. You start to get sick. So what if you could still have that stuff once in a while and feel better? What if you could have pizza here and there, eat healthier the rest of the time, utilize the tools to manage that, and get your health back? That's what I did. I didn't make any drastic changes to my diet or any of that. But here's the thing. Remember when I said that our food is not what it used to be, that it's not the same, that this is part of the problem? When you look at that picture in the upper left-hand corner, that's what our carrots used to look like. And you guys can all Google this. Just go type in what our food used to look like, and you'll find tons of pictures. Like our peaches used to be just bigger than a golf ball, and now they're bigger than my fist. Well, how did they go from this really, kind of bitter, a little bit sweet, really crunchy, fleshy thing to this big, juicy, sweet thing? Well, we stripped out fibers and nutrients and all of that to pump it full of those sugars so that it's more desirable for us. That's what happened with our carrots. If you look at watermelon, that fruit in the middle, that fleshy fruit, was covered with fiber and seeds, and we slowly over time started modifying that out. How many of you have picked up a watermelon and seen it full of black seeds? Because they were full of that. And there was some fiber in watermelon when I was a kid. Not quite like that upper one, but a lot closer than this bottom one, what I call sugar water in a shell. So now that watermelon is going straight to your bloodstream as glucose. There's nothing slowing it down. There's nothing taking care of it. And the worst part is it's fructose. Now it's causing load on your liver. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Corn used to, a long time ago, look more like that little grain type thing. And then we've modified it and created this big, juicy, like starchy, sweet. I love corn. I love corn in the summer, slathered in butter and salt. Yeah, I get it, but I can have that on the system. I just am going to add this in before I eat to help mediate that. You look at the bottom picture, that's what happens to our grains. We're stripping out all of these nutrients to get it to be something that we like to eat, and it's causing this create insulin spike for us. So there's 6 simple tips that I generally give for everybody dealing with insulin resistance, right? You guys can try this on your own. If you want to make it more sustainable, I'm going to say do the system. The system really works, because I tried these things without the system and it was hard. I had a hard time. But you want to get in fiber first. We need fiber for our gut microbiome. You're going to hear people say you don't. You're going to hear people say you do. My opinion is that you need fiber for your gut microbiome. There are things in those fibers that are feeding the good microbiota in there and helping, and that helps then keep the negative microbiota away. So prebiotics in fiber help feed your natural probiotics in your system. You need them both, but you need them in balance. Then you want to prioritize protein. Most of us are not getting enough protein. That's what I mean by prioritize protein. I'm not saying go eat bodybuilder amounts of protein, but you know what? Most of us should have at least 60 grams of fat. I generally say 80 to 120, but a lot of people I work with, they're only getting 20 to 30 grams of protein in a day. That's not enough. Protein is a building block. You need it, but guess what? You need fats in order for your body to metabolize that protein correctly and not just turn it into inflammatory markers in your system. So the next thing is fill with fat. And what fats? I have actually a PDF, you guys. If you go to my link tree on TikTok, I'll show you where to get there. You guys over on YouTube and Facebook, just snap the QR code that's on my page and it'll get you there. But I have a PDF that you can get that has all of this stuff in it, tells you what fats, gives you a list of healthy and high proteins, And then you're going to control your carbs. Now, when I say control your carbs, I'm not saying that you have to get rid of your carbs. I'm not saying, yep, you got to eat 30 grams of carbs or less a day, or this isn't going to work for you. No. If that's what you choose to do, great. It's going to work for you faster. But do you have to? No. I'm going to explain why in just a second. Then you want to watch the clock. And by that, I mean intermittent fasting. I'm going to explain that here in a second too. And then the all important one that I didn't used to have on the list, but has to be there, is move your body. If you're sedentary and you're under stress and all of these things are going on, your muscle cells are also insulin resistant. When you start to move your body, even if it's just taking a walk, now your muscle cells want to take up that energy and you're becoming more insulin sensitive. So move your body. If you want to go lift weights, lift weights. If you want to play tennis, do that. If you want to swim, dance, whatever makes you happy, just get movement in about a half an hour every day. That's going to help you. Those things can help you with your obesity, insulin resistance, high cholesterol, hypertension, and amazingly, it can help get rid of a lot of inflammation in your body as well. So, whew. Does it give me energy? I don't know. Do you guys think you didn't know me before, but do you think I get energy from the system? It's like, really? Do you think there's energy? All right, so our solution is this. A simple system combined with that time-based eating pattern, a tea that you drink in the morning, a pre-meal drink that you drink twice a day before your first two biggest meals, 10 minutes before, and that's it. Like, do you have to do crazy calorie accounting, some meal plan or work? No, none of that, you guys. And I'm going to use those 6 simple tips I just gave you and then the system, and that's it. So I want to go over fasting super quick. This is what it looks like for us on the system. And this is actually what you should strive to do anyway. So you want to go to having your dinner preceded by that fiber packet, right? 10 minutes before you have your dinner, and then around 2 hours later, your fasting window starts. About 6 hours later, your blood sugar normalizes. This is if you've had dinner about 6 o'clock. Around 2 a.m., if you haven't done any snacking, if you didn't have a high carbohydrate dinner, around 2 a.m., your insulin level, remember that bully that I talked about, finally starts to drop. Now, glucagon can come out. When I'm done with this list, I'll tell you why that's important. Glucagon, when it comes out, now your digestive system can reset. Now you're in a fat burning mode. You're having HGH increase. You're having ketones increase. You're ramping up fat burning. And during that time, when you wake up, you're going to have the tea that helps support mental clarity and energy, helps your body boosting out ketones, and it doesn't break your fast. So then, like about noon today, for me, when I'm done with this, I'm going to have this, and that's it. I start all over. It's really that simple, you guys. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be painful. And yeah, I've had people call me like day one and be like, I thought you were lying to me. I was so food addicted, so sugar addicted. I would have bet that there was no way this was going to work. And they'd be like, there's one gal that was like, what the heck, Misha? It's 2 o'clock and I'm not even hungry. This has never happened in my life. Because it works. It really does. And if it, just give it time. Give it 90 days to affect your health. Give it 90 days to see what can happen for you. Have a 90-day money-back guarantee. It's real food products that are nourishing your body. How can you go wrong with that? Like what? You're going to go, hey, Jeremiah, you're going to go shove some medication in your system that's causing liver problems and heart problems and kidney problems and all of this other stuff? No, just do a real system. Give it 90 days and see what happens. And like I say, clear the clutter. And when you clear the clutter, then you can see if there's anything left over that your doctor and you may need to address. Because I'm not calling this a cure-all. I am not saying that. But I'm saying a majority of things that we suffer from can be linked to this insulin resistance thing. And if we take care of that, you can feel so much better. So, this is what your day is going to look like I'm starting to get texts again. It's always really distracting to my ADD brain. So this is what the system looks like, right? Wake up in the morning, have your tea. By the way, I'm going to stop and have a drink. Okay. Then about noon, you're going to have your balance 10 minutes before you eat. They both just mix in water. They come in these pre-packaged serving size packages. There's a lot of reasons for that. I'll go over it in a minute. Now, if in the afternoon you have breakthrough hunger and you're like, Misha, I just can't make it, have another tea. The cool thing is it's real food. It's real food. So you can have another one. Then you're going to have dinner. Have your balance before dinner. No snacking. Go to bed. Wake up the next morning. Do it all over again. But look, if you're super busy or you have a weekend with family and friends and you just want to have that breakfast, right? You want to have that extra meal. Do it. Do it once in a while. Drinking your tea now. Yeah. Um, so you guys, Feel Great Queen is in here, Jeremiah. You guys want to tell people how awesome it's been for you and what's been happening for you so that we can get the word out. You guys, so on a day where you're having extra food, right? It says flexible up there. I put flexible up there for a reason because the system is sustainable, it's flexible, it's real, it fits in your real life. You're not having to go without and be the weirdo on the like I'm on keto. I can't have anything that you have at this event. I don't want to go to that wedding because y'all are going to have a bunch of food I can't have. Nope. You bring your tools with you and you enjoy your life and you enjoy your family and you enjoy your friends, and that's life. So Jeremiah's been on this since September of 2022 and has lost 48 pounds. Where's my bell? Jeremiah, that's freaking amazing. And his A1C is down from 6.3 to 5.7. Feel Great Queen is drinking her tea right now too. You guys, is the tea not amazing? Like, it tastes so flipping good. Uh, I have people who are just like, I can't give up my coffee. And then all of a sudden, they're not drinking coffee anymore. I get calls from people who are like, I stopped by one of those places for coffee, and guess what? I don't even like it anymore. Yeah, it's I have it all day long. I don't know if you guys know, but this is my first tea. I'm gonna be honest. There's tea and matcha in here. The Unimatcha bomb is my jam, right? This afternoon I'll have another Unimate. Yeah. Um, so Gigi, you go to my profile right up there. And when you click on that profile, let's pray that this works properly for everybody over in YouTube and whatnot land. You're gonna go to my profile. And there's two profiles because I'm starting to build my business profile. You guys want to know how to make a great side hustle and do it helping people? Let me know because we're all about that. So if you just go to my profile, click on this link. It'll be black for you right below the red lights. I put the red lights there so it's super easy for you to find. Click on that. It's going to take you to my link tree right there. See, it says order Feel Great. So the T is part of the Feel Great system. That's where you're going to click to order it. Okay, my web page is here. The 6 simple steps to managing your insulin resistance ebook that I created for y'all is there. So much information on this page. I want to come back to this in just a second, but right now we're going to look at how to order this, right? So when you click on that link, order Feel Great, by the way, it's going to work wherever in the world you're at. I'm in the US, so I get the US site. If you're in the UK, you're going to get the UK site. If you're in Australia, you're going to get that site. All right. We're available in 34 countries around the world right now. 34. Last year it was 22. We're constantly expanding, trying to get this out to the world. But you want to make sure that it says Michelle Fayon at the top. That means you're going to get connected to me. I'm going to be able to help you, coach you, take you along the way. And then you click on this buy now, Gigi. And then when you get here, what you're going to do is you're going to see the tea, which there's 30 of them in the pack. There's 60 of the balance because that's the pre-meal drink you're having twice a day before your first 2 biggest meals of the day. And then on this side, it costs about $5 a day, guys. So on this side, you're going to see you have a choice between 3 different flavors: lemon, ginger, lemon, and black. They have lemon ginger highlighted right now because, to be honest, lemon is kind of on back order. We've had so many people finding out about this and just really diving into it and changing their health that lemon has been a little bit harder to get. So if you want to get it right away and you like the spice of ginger, just get the lemon ginger. It tastes like, I used to do this anyway. I used to make lemonade in the morning and I would throw ginger in it and all this stuff. So I like the lemon ginger. You can have it hot or cold. Black we still have available for now. Black is actually made to look, feel, and taste more like black coffee. If you like that, get it now because they're going to be replacing that flavor soon. So if you want to try it, you got to get it now. Anyway, then you're going to come back over here. They've already selected the choice that gives you the best savings, right? Monthly subscription. So look at right there. It says you can cancel it at any time. That means anytime, anytime. So it's about $5 a day. It's $154 on subscription a month. And that subscription means you're saving the shipping. So that's $10 of shipping you're not paying. You're saving $5 off. That's $15 already right there. And because this company is so flipping amazing, when you do the subscription the first time, you're going to get these omega-3s, a $42 value for free, just for putting the system on subscription and investing in your health and giving yourself that assurity that next month you're not going to run out and you're going to stay on track to getting better. So like, how crazy is that? So 42 plus 15, but that's $57. Like, you guys, I can't imagine, because you can cancel it at any time. They give you a 5-day notice before your subscription comes out. So like next month, you're like, oh, dude, I forgot. Your subscription's already on its way before you run out. You're getting a 5-day notice. If you want to try a different flavor, if you want to do whatever, you can go do that. Like, it's amazing. I have never bought from somebody where they took so much care of me and making sure that everything was going well for me, where like I've bought other stuff before and like I didn't even realize I put it on subscription, and the next month here's a couple $100 out of my wallet that I wasn't expecting, and nobody, like, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't remember putting this on subscription. And they're like, well, too bad, you got to buy it for 6 months now. What? No, we don't do that to you. So you guys, there's no risk in doing it on subscription. The only risk is not doing it on subscription and running out when you start feeling so great that you want this. I love the coffee too. When I have that, I'm not a big coffee drinker, so it's not my favorite flavor, but I love it when I don't even have a packet here. How crazy is that? I have everything in here. All right. Well, I don't have the coffee flavor in here, but I do, and I like it mixed with. You know how I like the coffee Unamate in the afternoon? With, have you ever mixed the coffee Unamate with either? I gotta remember what I'm doing. Okay. Have you ever mixed the coffee Unamate? Sorry, you guys over here. You guys didn't get to see all of that, did you? Because I didn't switch up my pictures right. All right. Over in YouTube land. So sorry about that, guys. You guys can ask me later. Now, if you mix the black with, I like it with our chocolate complete. Oh my gosh. Like iced mocha. So you're getting protein, you're getting clean energy. Holy crud. Some people love it with the vanilla complete, and then you can maybe add a couple of drops of stevia in, like hazelnut or any of that stuff. And now you have, like, I wouldn't put the complete in with it hot, but you can do it iced or you can do it blended. Amazing, amazing drink when you mix that black with the protein. Try it, Jeremiah. Just give it a shot. So user 8474, I think I answered that. I hope I did, because I said it was about $5 a day. There's that. So guys, now I'm going to dive into showing you why this system is so amazing. And one of the things, like, okay, I rave about the tea all the time, but the truth is the balance is the backbone. But I do it a little differently, because the tea is where we start in the morning. I'm going to go over that quickly first, because it is, man, you guys, my adrenal fatigue, my chronic fatigue, my whatever, I used to have naps throughout the day because I was so fatigued. Just my adrenals were so off, and I don't have that happen anymore. I don't have that happen. Like, I barely slept last night. This is normal for me. I'm traveling, and yeah, black with fuel tastes like a caramel macchiato. So that's another one you guys can do. When I flip around, I'm going to talk about that. But you can do the black, and actually, Tammy, if you haven't tried this, mix the black with the caramel and then mix it with either probably the vanilla. I just like our chocolate complete, but put a scoop of protein in there too. And then let me know how that goes, because I'll really like it that way. I don't know what it is about the adding the complete there that changes it for me, but it does. So I love that. All right, you guys. So this is why I love our tea. It goes through a 5-step process, and it's unique to Unicity. It's unique to this product. Okay. So we hand pick it. We never machine harvest it. We buy it directly from the farmers who own their own plants, ethically, sustainably harvested. Number one, big deal, right? Then we take it to a fire roasting process that helps release the nutrients from the bulk of the plant. So you guys are getting the most bioavailable product that you can get without all the excess stuff. Then we extract that. Now that we've released it so it can be extracted, we extract it and then we concentrate it. We're not done yet. Now that we've concentrated it, we take it to a Swiss lab where they send it through this process called hyperpure, and that helps remove environmental toxins and pesticides. So now you have a highly potent concentrated extract that's super pure. You're not going to find anything else like it. Nothing else on the market goes through this kind of process to give you the purity and the complexity of what we're giving you. In fact, there's just one component in this tea that's 375 times more than a normal yerba mate tea. So now, Unimate, and you want to think, when you think Una, we're talking about like one city, as in the world is one big city. We all are human beings working together, living together, striving together. Unimate, one tea for the world, okay? So feel great all day. You can have it anytime. There's no crashes. It's non-addictive, unlike your Red Bull and your Bang Energy and your coffee and all that stuff. No crashes. It's non-addictive. You guys, when you have this much energy and you kind of just like come down slowly, it's crazy because it's not like you have this much energy and all of a sudden, boom, I'm like, oh, died on the couch, ready for a nap. No, that doesn't happen to me. So you suppresses your hunger and cravings by using stored fat for fuel. It helps boost mood and mental and physical performance. It improves endurance and strength during exercise. By the way, science shows that it improves that 10 to 13%. I was a competitive athlete. Do you know what kind of advantage that is for something that will not pop you on a drug test if you're in a drug tested federation of any kind? That's a huge, huge thing. It also helps promote healthy digestion. And like I just showed you, it's high quality and extremely pure. So those components that I talk about all the time. Now there's other components. Yes, I promised I would do research. I haven't gotten it all done. I'm going to give that to you guys here soon. But the three I love to talk about are these. Chlorogenic acids, those help promote neuroprotective gene expression in the brain. Chlorogenic acids are one of those very few components that can cross the blood-brain barrier. So that's how this is affecting anxiety and depression. So there's a number of components there, right? But it's promoting feelings of well-being. It supports healthy blood pressure. This is how my blood pressure has come down. Between the two, this has helped as well. Between the two, this is how my blood pressure has come down to normal range from being on dual therapy and way, way out of range for years. And it promotes weight loss. But it also supports healthy glucose levels. So before we even get to the balance, we're helping blood pressure, supporting healthy glucose levels, and promoting weight loss. Do you know why I love this tea? Do you understand why I love it? So look, then there's the theobromine, number 2 of these things that we call adaptogens. And what they're really doing is helping balance out the caffeine that is in this because it's naturally occurring, but these 3 things help balance that. So theobromine is best known as that mood boosting molecule found in your high quality chocolate. You know, when you eat that really high quality chocolate and you just get that feeling like, I want more. There's a reason we get addicted to chocolate, and it's that feeling. So there are 3 times more of these theobromines in this tea than in the highest quality dark chocolate. Plus, this theobromine is another component that's helping with your healthy blood pressure and now cholesterol levels and promoting a feeling of calm. Like this kind of energy, but calm, right? I'm not like climbing off the walls like I did with Bang Energy and all of that, but it also reduces mental fatigue and improves focus. How does it help with collapsed adrenals, i.e. fibromyalgia? I can do a video on that. Insulin resistance, I am not versed on all of it. So you guys, I'm not going to come in here and pretend to tell you something that I don't know. But if you want me to address that specific question, I'm more than happy to do the research and disseminate it. Okay, so, and I've never heard about adrenals being collapsed, fibromyalgia. So there are a number of issues with nerves and vascularity that cause problems, but I'm going to go get you a real answer and not a half-assed one, and I'll bring it back. Snookums. Let me write down your name too. Okay, now you're on my list. All right. So Unimate. So this theobromine healthy blood pressure, cholesterol levels, feelings of calm, reduced mental fatigue, improved focus. I can't tell you how much that has been true for me. So then the last component, theobrom, or not theobromine, mate saponins. They're unique to the yerba mate plant. And in those saponins, sorry you guys, are these triterpenoid saponins, and they're suggested to have human health benefits, including lowering serum cholesterol and providing antioxidant and anti-cancer activity. So twice we have this antioxidant activity in one product, right? One herbal botanical product. But it also supports healthy triglycerides and the body's ability to burn fat. Like fats and burning fat, weight loss. I've talked about that a couple of times with just this one product, just this one. And it's giving you crazy energy. That's not making you feel wired and jittery and all of that. That's what I drink every single morning. And look at you guys, we were talking about some things you can do. So absolutely, you can mix it with the complete, like I talked about. You can add some MCT oils with it if you're going to have it hot. Amazing. And support for the MCT oils. I did a video on MCT oils and their benefits a while back. Go find that. And then you guys can do things like stirring in cinnamon, adding ginger, adding those type of things that are not adding calories and breaking your fast. Absolutely. Cinnamon and ginger are both better for good for metabolism anyway. You can stir them in there. Play with it. Do, make it a drink that you love. Make it your own drink. But you have it in the morning for energy. You can have it anytime you're having these energy crashes. I drink it before I go to the gym because now I have energy to do whatever I'm doing at the gym. And even though I'm sweating my arse off, I still have energy, which is crazy. Because I used to like lose energy and not even be able to break a sweat. When I was so insulin resistant, I was busting my butt in the gym, not ever getting to where I'm at now. So you always also want to drink it before important meetings or tests or anytime you just need that mental clarity. Then we're going to take a look at the balance. Now the balance, you guys. I want to talk about our balance because I'm going to tell you a secret. I take offense to people telling me that this is going to work anywhere near what this does. Okay. You guys have to understand that fiber all has a different action in your body. One type of fiber can't do everything I'm about to talk about. It takes a combination of fibers and very specific fibers to do what I'm going to talk about. We have a product called Life Fiber that's actually 27 different types of fiber. Still 27 different types of fiber over 2 types. That product costs about the same as this. The Life Fiber that we give you, I would rather have those 27 different types of fiber helping feed my probiotics and giving me all of those cleaning constituents that I need than this 2-piece junk. When people tell me about junk or crap, that's the stuff I think of. I only have it here to show you guys the bottle because that stuff never goes in my body. Now, I've also had people stop the system because they listen to these gurus and these uninformed people on TikTok, and they try that and then they come back to me and they're like, Misha, it's not working. It's not doing the same thing. We've had people who tried this for a full year and couldn't get anywhere. And then they're like, all right. There's got to be something to this. I'm going to try this. They tried this and it worked. Now, why is this different? Let's take a look. This is so amazing because of these things. So number one, it's scientifically formulated. There was about 20 years of study have gone into this product. 9 different soluble and insoluble fibers or insoluble fibers in this product. 4 different patented blends: Biosphere Fiber, 7X Technology, Cardio Matrix, and Vitamin Complex. And I'm about to go over what each one of those are and why they're important. Okay? So, I've been on here longer than I thought today talking about this. The importance of balance, before I get into those, is it does this. Remember I was talking about reactive hypoglycemia? This is what it looks like. You have that glucose spike. Insulin does its job. It drops that glucose level down. Now you have that difference in energy, right? But while that insulin is out high, it's blocking fat breakdown. It's blocking fat burning, and it's stimulating fat storage. It's not a fat storing hormone, but it's stimulating those hormones to go do that. And it's carrying it around going, here you are. Here's all the energy you need. Go store it away. Okay. We don't want that, right? So how does this system help with that? Why is it working? So what it looks like when you're not having this pre-meal drink before you eat, the upper model looks like that. We're spiking our insulin, getting our the blood sugar spiked, and then insulin is staying because once it's high and it's like, okay, you're going to give me more of this. Let's stay high and let's do this. That's where it's at. Now you have this high insulin, hyperinsulinemia, which leads to insulin resistance. What we want to do is slow that down and lower it. So when we utilize this, it's helping you slow that down. So now when you eat, your glucose spikes are not as high. Your insulin never has to go as high. Now you come back to a normal range much quicker. This reduces those glucose spikes by 20% with one packet. And if you have a high carbohydrate meal or having extra carbohydrates, you want to do 2 packets, it reduces it by 28%. One packet reduces your insulin spike by 13%. 2 reduces it by 27%, all backed by scientific studies. Okay, there's studies that back all of everything I just said. So now let's dive into the balance, okay? Because I hope you kind of understand why this is so important. So the Biosphere Fiber is a unique blend that includes 5 different sources of fiber, and they help support healthy cholesterol levels, and they slow the conversion of those high glycemic carbs into your bloodstream. So in effect, making a high glycemic carb a medium glycemic carb, it's like crazy how well this works. Okay, so then that's patented blend number 1. Then patented blend number 2, the 7X technology, is another specialized blend of plant-derived polysaccharides or viscous fibers. Those are soluble fibers, meaning they can take up water. They don't just like trudge through the intestinal system, right? That's what this does. Okay, so these are gelling up when you mix it up. It's gelling up when it gets in your gut. So now when you have this viscous gel, and it's not a clump, it's a gel, it starts to coat your gut. It starts to help you feel fuller. Now when you go to eat, you're not going to eat as much. It keeps that food in your gut a little bit longer. It slows down the delivery of those sugars. So now you stay full longer and you don't have that glucose drop where you're losing energy throughout the day and then feeling like you got to eat again. Okay, so it helps slow the emptying of your stomach, which helps keep you feeling full longer. Then the third patented blend in here is the Cardio Matrix. It is a blend of plant extracts and phytosterols, plant extracts that support the body's cholesterol absorption process. One of the key ingredients of that is chrysanthemum. And if you guys go look up chrysanthemum, there is a lot of research on how chrysanthemum is so amazing at helping with cholesterol levels. Okay, now it's heart healthy. So we're affecting your digestion, we're affecting your metabolism, and it's heart healthy. Like, what? What? So then to take it another step further, our scientists were like, okay, so what happens if we add these vitamins and minerals that are known to be helpful with digestion and metabolism to this specific blend? And they did just that. And they found out that it amplifies the effects of those other 3 patented blends. And so now we've added in this blend of vitamins and minerals that are helping with digestion and the conversion of food into fuel. That's why this is so different. You guys, this is not your average Joe fiber that you go buy in the store for 12 bucks and it makes you poop a lot, but it's not lowering your blood sugar. Okay. So you want to use something that's actually working. Now, when I talk about the science, and we are a science company, not a marketing company, we have partnerships with all of these places. So remember when I was talking about sports, look up there if you're an athlete, NSF, Informed Choice, Cologne List. Those should be important names to you if you're in a drug-tested federation. We have studies with the American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, the Cleveland Clinic, the #1 heart clinic in the world, Columbia University, UNLV, the University of Sydney, the makers of the glycemic index, Johns Hopkins. We have all of these studies with all of these places supporting these products and what they're doing in your body. That's important. That's important. These guys can't tell you that. They don't have all those studies. They don't have all those partnerships. And you want to tell me to ditch this and go with this? No, because you know what this is? This is a waste of my money. For what I need, that's a waste of my money. You want to talk about wasting money? That's it. And by the way, So here's another thing. Like I live above Baltimore. It takes me about a half hour, 40 minutes to drive my car to the airport. I leave for Vegas in a few days. Do you think I want to hop on a bicycle with a 50-pound suitcase, a bunch of materials that I have to take, and my carry-on and my laptop, and try and ride a bicycle to Baltimore? It won't do the job of my car as effectively, as quickly, as efficiently as my car does. Okay. It may save me money because I'm not paying the gas and stuff, but is it really doing the job? I don't know. I'd rather drive my damn car than try and ride my bicycle with my suitcase on my back. That's my deal. All right. So I'm almost done here. Guys, a couple of tips for success with this. Eat your carbs, don't drink them. Please understand, we just talked about spiking your insulin and spiking your glucose, and understand that if you've stripped fibers and all these nutrients from your food by pulling all of that pulp, which is the fiber, out so that you have this juice, now what do you have? You have fructose in a glass that you're like, why not just take an IV and pump some sugar into your veins? Because that's what you're doing when you're drinking fruit juice. It's hard on your liver. Your liver has to process that fructose. This is why we're seeing non-alcoholic fatty liver in kids as young as 6 years old. So eat your carbs. Have an apple. Just skip the apple juice. Don't give your kids orange juice. Let them eat the orange. Okay? Save your kids, save you. Toss that stuff. All right. Then I also want to talk about the fact where we're going to be. Cindy's going to be there with me this week. We're going to go to the global manufacturing facility. We have 2 here in the US. We have 8 of them around the world. We're going to be at the one in Vegas. We own our own facilities. We have full control over the manufacturing and the production of our products. We know exactly what's coming to you, so it's not ever compromised. Plus, it's tested before it's ever packaged. It's tested before it's ever put together. Each botanical component is tested to make sure that it is what what they're selling us, and that it has the efficacy that we're trying to get to you before we ever put it with everything else to get it out to you. So there's a high amount of quality because we have control over that. When you're buying things like Metamucil and those things, they don't go through that. They don't do all of that. They don't take that care for you. Plus, now, guys, I've talked about it a couple of times. You have this 90-day money back guarantee. I have never, ever seen someone ask me for the money back guarantee that they didn't tell me that they got it. Okay. So, Juanita, let's go over that right now. I'm going to tell you, when you purchase from me, you get this best price guarantee. You get that quality guarantee stating that it's tested, that what we say is on the side of the box is what you're getting, and it's standardized, right? So let's take a look at how you're going to order it. So let me try and fix this correctly over here this time, you guys, on YouTube and Facebook land. Sorry about that last time. Actually, let's just... Yeah. All right. So if you click on my link up at the top of this video, that's going to take you to my my TikTok page, right? Right under... Can I get myself under control? Lord, somebody should. Okay. So there's this red light symbols. For you, that link is going to look black. That's where you're going to find the link. That's what you want to click on. You're going to click on that, and it's going to probably pop up with a page like this. It's safe. I don't know why this does this with Linktree, but every Linktree I've tried to access does this. Just click past that. It'll take you to my landing page where all of the information, including ordering, is right here. Plus, if you need help with the system, if you need that, and you want to just get some more questions answered before you decide, you can contact me on WhatsApp. All that information is there. My YouTube, my Facebook are there. I need to get my Pinterest up. But hey, look, there's a web page. There's the 6 simple steps, those steps that I just went over a little bit ago. You can get that beautiful ebook that I created for you guys with all of the information in it, so you never have to guess what was it that she said. And then this weekend, May 5th, I'm going to be in Las Vegas at the Women's Health and Beauty Expo. It's in the north end of Las Vegas, and thousands of women are going to be coming through there. We're going to be taking care of them. So you want to make sure when you click on the Order Feel Great link, that when you get here, it says, let's try that again, but it says referred by Michelle Fayant. That's going to link you to me. That's going to allow me to coach you and you ask me questions. And you know, it's important that you get somebody who knows what's going on and who's taken the care and the research to be able to give you real answers. That's my opinion. That's my kind of personality. So then you're just going to click on the buy now button. You'll always have access to me, by the way. You can text me. Text me is always the best. Ask me questions, you know, get my opinion on things. How can we help make this work better for you? All of that stuff. But you're going to get 30 of the tea and you're going to get 60 of the pre-meal drink. And you get your choice between these flavors, lemon, lemon, ginger, or black. Black is only around for a limited time. So if you're interested in that coffee flavor, you got to get it now because otherwise it's going to be gone. And this one does taste great with the caramel fuel, which I haven't gone over. It goes great with the protein as a blended coffee flavored protein energy amazingness drink. But you're just going to pick your flavor. And then you're going to come down here to, they've already picked the one that saves you the most money. So this monthly subscription, you get free shipping. That's about $10. You get an additional $5 off the product. Now you're at 15. You can cancel it at any time. Anytime. So you're not going to call Unicity and they're not going to be like, no, dude, you got to buy this for 6 months. You can cancel this at any time. So why not save yourself that $15? Make sure you have it coming in time next month so you don't run out and are sad. I've had people put it on one time and then they're like, dude, I ran out and I felt like I could tell the difference in my energy and whatnot. I want my product. So plus, to reward you for being that kind of person who's committed in your own health and taking care of yourself, they're going to send you these omega-3s. It's a $42 value as a gift to you for the first order when you order. That's how you're going to order, and then you're going to end up getting an email and a text from me and a video that's going to tell you how to do the system. And then I'm going to ask you to call me when the product comes in so we can go over it and make sure all your questions are answered and that you get started properly. Protein or coffee, protein to the coffee will break the fast. That's why I usually do it at the end of my fast. So here's the thing. Denny's Mimi. So these are real food products. You get enough to do the tea in the morning and the pre-meal drink before every time you eat, right? But if you have a day, I've had up to 6 of these in a day because maybe I had some oh yeah, what was it the other day? I found some caramel flavored cashews. So before I indulged, I had a packet of this. You get 2 because that's the system. You can have, I have at least 2, sometimes 3 of these in a day because if I look at, this cost me $1.60 a packet. It cost me less than a diet soda. It cost me less than those other drinks that are not giving me all of the nutrients that this gives me. So I'm going to drink this. And because it's real food, I don't have to just have one. I can have more if I want. So that's where that's at. So if I have another one in the afternoon, before my meal or whatever, or you know, just if I'm having that moment in the afternoon, this with some coffee, or maybe I'm not as extremely hungry at that time, but I know I need to eat because maybe it's going to be a long time before I eat again, then I'll put the protein in with the Unimate and kind of have that as my go-between meal. But yeah, the protein will break your fast. You're correct on that. Okay, so I never do the protein in the morning. I do it during my eating window. Okay, guys, I hope that clears it up. I hope that gives you all the answers you need. And I hope that I've brought some information to you today that you needed to be able to make a better decision for your life and understand maybe what's happening. Because I know I lived through all of those days of nobody giving me answers, everybody telling me just to lose weight, doctors rolling their eyes at me, all the stuff. Guys, before I go, I had one guy, and I love him dearly, nice guy, gym owner, was like, oh, Misha, I got this. I'm gonna fix you. I'm gonna write your eating plan. I'm gonna do all this stuff. And we're going to get you, like I work with bodybuilders, we're going to get this taken care of. And he wrote me my macros. He did all of that. I logged everything. I used, by the way, if you guys are interested in logging your food to see where it's at, there's tons of them out there. The one I used to use was Fit Day. And when I was competing, I actually had to plug, like if I wanted to have something specific the next day, I plugged it in first, and then I started figuring out what was I going to do the rest of the day to fill out my macros, to keep my carbs under 30, to keep my fats at a certain level and my proteins at a certain, it was craziness. So it's not that I didn't try, and I did all of his stuff and I still wasn't getting better. This changed all of that. Like I'm walking up and down stairs. I'm up and down off the floor. I'm running after my grandson, my 6-year-old grandson, playing sword fights with him. 2 years ago, that wasn't possible. Okay, you guys, I try to be here every morning at 11. I'm going to forewarn you, because I'm flying to Vegas Friday, I will not be here either at 8 o'clock or at 11. If I can find time in the airport, I'll go live when I can find time. I'll try to go live that night, but I will not be live either at the 8 o'clock time or the 11 o'clock time on Friday. But I will be here for you guys the next 2 days. And I'll try and go live a little bit from the Women's Health Expo. It's huge. So you guys are so welcome. I hope it helped, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you, everybody. Now, if I can get both of these shut down. Here we go.